Morning, guys. Mark Ferrasci, Pro Tech Dog Training with BigBoy. Now, I think I'm about 8-9 days in. I'm gonna stop counting because it gets to be repetitive, and we've got him following lure and understanding he's supposed to sit and look up almost every time, and I stop and give him a frontal. Yesterday, I did a lot of yakking at the screen, and my videos didn't come out because I didn't have my sound hooked up or something happened. So I tried to concentrate a little bit more this morning. Get out here at 6:30 to 7, half awake and doing this. My brain gets foggy. Good dog, good. So what I was talking about yesterday was more important, was voice tone, okay? How much voice tone matters and the dog seeing pictures. So if I've got the dog doing a generalization, we're talking about that a lot too, where we get something like this. The dog learns to sit in that position. My position is frontal, a little bit sideways maybe, but it's very precise for the dog. They see everything in pictures being exact. So that being the case, we want to make sure we understand that. And then if I get a dog to sit in the kitchen and he understands the word sit in a certain picture that he sees, you go outside to try to get him to sit, and he's not necessarily going to do it. Why? Because the dogs have a really hard time generalizing, which means that they don't understand it in just that one place. You go to somewhere else and they won't do it because it's a different location or it's a different picture. So here's a different picture for him, which is from the side, right? This is a different position altogether on my side than the one that's in front, okay? So everything's got to be generalized in that way. Yes. Yes. Good. So a down from my front, when I was doing it front, started it. Good. The side is going to be different. So I'm here with my right hand. It's how I do my down command. And I give it to him from here. Okay. Pledge of Allegiance downwards. Okay. So Pledge of Allegiance starts it, and then you swoop downwards. And I don't know if you can see me or not. So I'm just going to try to keep the view more downwards so you can see at least my hands. Good. Yep. Good boy. Good. As soon as he sits, and I'm getting rid of my body language that was helping him, so he starts doing it without the body language help. Good. To a certain degree. I just pulled my hands to my face. That was what was causing good the frustration. And I'm trying to do the duration marker, right? Good. Good. Okay, now I'll do the down, and notice it's in front. So you're here and you're right there. That's how it starts, and then the food goes between the legs. Good, which locks this position in the downward position, and I can get my distraction. Good. Voice tone, though, he's picking up on everything. Like I said, a little sponge. So voice tone matters. So what I've been doing is increasing my correction on the, instead of just saying nope and then robbing him of food, which he doesn't totally understand yet, I increased it. So what I did, I was getting it yesterday, where he would break and I'd tap him underneath and I'd say no, and I have a little bit different. You don't realize how much your voice plays with emotion, okay? We communicate with that voice tone, and we use it all the time. So if you're angry at your kids, listen to your voice tone. If you're happy and you're telling your wife you love her, listen to your voice tone. Everything changes, and it's very subtle, and people don't even stop and think about it because we use it so much. Dogs pick up on every little intonation because that's your emotions. They read your emotions and your body language with everything they do, because that's how they communicate. They don't have verbalization. So it's all about tone, right? Good. And I've been saying for years that I try to teach my customers to use their voice like they're playing a fiddle, meaning it's an instrument, right? Use it. Good. And realize where it comes from. It comes from your emotional states of mind that are conveyed to the dog. Yep. And he picks up on everything. Everybody's always talking about body language. Sure, they read body language, but that body language is directed by your emotions and what you feel. And they pick up on all that. And that emotion goes into your voice tone, right? So learn to use your voice. Good. It's another reason for the clicker, because there is no change in voice tone. We can be saying no, 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 and you change your voice tone 3 different ways in modulation. That's why we always tell our customers to listen to the voice tone. When you say no, it's just matter of fact, done and over with, and there's no emotion behind it. It's just nope. You see what I'm saying? And that's the same attitude you have in the clicker, because there is no emotion in that clicker. It's just the same sound every friggin' time. And you don't realize that if you learn to think about your voice in the right way, in such a way that you're communicating to the dog, yep, good. Watch this. Let's do that. I didn't bounce, but watch what happens when I, good, good, nope, nope. There's that voice tone, right? Good, nope, good. Notice how matter of fact, just real monotone in that no. It's just, it means, and that's why when we tell you this, that's what we're trying to denote. The no marker should be just, no, I want you to do it again, right? No means you didn't do it right, I want you to do it again. What happens when you put yourself in that mental frame mind? Instead of saying no, which most people do, no, you're doing something wrong, spank, okay? Nope. No means you didn't do it right, I want you to do it over again. When you put yourself in that emotional state of mind, that voice tone goes to that place. Nope. Okay, now I said no, but I'm trying to communicate to you. Good. Good. Okay, trying to get him to hold longer duration. Good. I can only push it so far because frustration comes up with him. He's hungry. Good. Time level is what your answer is. Good, because if you give him the same time amp, that means yes, that's the right answer, and he gets used to that time level. Good. Now when you stretch it, watch what happens. I'm going to stretch it. You see it? You see the frustration? Because you went past your time level. He's saying, hey, what's going on here? Right? So time level matters. That's what I'm trying to get across to you on this one. Okay? How we fluctuate that time and how we stretch it very slowly and methodically. Good is what's going to keep him from being anxious, over anxious, and starting to blow it because he's getting frustrated. Good, because you're not doing what he's used to with the time level. We're building this in, and then we're going to slowly stretch that time level the longer and longer. And we've got to deal with his attention span. Age matters, right? Good. He's only got so much. Good. Big boy? Nope. Nope. Listen to my voice tone. When I gave that no, it was more of a forceful no. I changed it, didn't I? And that because of the emotions that are coming from me in regards to dealing with him. And you do it unconsciously. You don't even realize you're doing it. Start paying attention to what your voice tone means, and you'll get better and better at playing that instrument. Good. 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 Good, big boy. Nope. Nope. Trying to get him to wait and hold for the big boy before I explode. And he's not holding because he's getting excited when he hears his name. Good. Nope. No. You hear the voice tone change? Chastise, right? I do it without even thinking, but I want to try to point it out to you guys so you start thinking about it for yourself, because you can grow that instrument. You get better at playing that instrument and realizing that it ties into your emotions. And the emotions go to the dog. He reads everything coming from you. Good. Nope. Come on. Good. Big boy? Yep. Good boy. Good. So the explosion release now is causing that excitement because he knows something's going to happen. He's starting to get excited in that spot. Okay, so I'm going to use my left hand. I'm going to take him back with the left and then back up forward again and get him to sit. And again, wherever his head goes, his body must follow. So it's like a magnet. Yes. And if you understand it that way, your luring is exactly that way. Wherever his head goes, his body must follow, right? Up and back. And that's what luring is all about, right? Getting him glued to the hand so that you can use that as a direct way of getting him manipulated. Okay? So I'm going to take him back. Yep. Boy, good. One more time. Try to go into this. Yes. Yes. And they see in pictures. So this body position is different than the other ones. And my delivery of food is different too, right? Good. It's up and that hand is here. He's watching that hand. Good. Good. I'm tying into the same pattern that I started in the front with a good. Good. And now I've got to go to the down, which is my Pledge of Allegiance, and you already knew it was coming, right? Patterns of 2s and 3s. I did that other one a couple, 2 or 3 times, and then I bled into the down. And he knows it's coming, which means he's learning. It's showing you that anticipation is the first sign of learning, right? Good. And then you got to work your way through that anticipation. Back to my left, back up forward again, and back up. Yeah, good boy, good. And I'm going to go, he knows it's coming, so now I'm not going to give it to him. I'm going to bait him back up. Good. Good. Big boy. Yep, good boy, good. And I did it from a different position, which means he wasn't expecting it. He started from this position and me exploding away from it. All right? I'm just trying to challenge his brain to get him to think and not to anticipate as much. I've got to work him through it. It takes how you do your flow and your work is what's going to make the difference. And there's where skill comes in. I can't give you my 30, 40 years experience, right? I can only try to convey it through the screen and get you guys to understand it. Nope. I'm trying to push him in with spatial pressure. Yeah, you boy. And right away the click. See the timing involved with that? Because you're trying to say to him, right answer, right? I challenged him, he finally popped up, and right away that click was there. That's why a clicker is so awesome, because you have the ability, your wiring in your brain goes right to that thumb. And there's no hesitation from the thought to the thumb, right? It's just the way the hand and the wiring go from the brain to that thumb, which makes it so exact, right? That we always talk about timing, and that was a great example of it right there. All right, we're done. I'm going to go feed you, boy. You're hungry, huh? You're hungry. All right, Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training, and Big Boy. Talk to you guys later.